All right, well, I wasn't really 100% ready for another FID day, especially for materials and processing too, but here it goes. So the example that you see in this video, this is kind of what I would like to see us be able to do as our first application project. Yes, we still have a ways to go and some things that we need to figure out. I wish I had already made this project before, but needless to say, I have not. So this is definitely take one, and I am sure that I will ultimately maybe even learn more than you in this process. But what we're going to look at today is almost just creating one of these small sections in Onshape. Now, I don't know what experience you guys have in Onshape. I know what experience Blake has in Onshape. And I know that students that are 9th graders did use it in middle school when they were in 8th grade. So those of you that are sophomores, I'm not sure if you've used it or not. So I'm going to try to start out basic. Let me know if you have questions. So we are going to hopefully be using square steel tube, 2 inches by 2 inches, that's 16 gauge. Now, the reason I specifically pulled this up this morning is because when I say 16 gauge, to many of you that probably means nothing. The gauge is the thickness of our metal. So from outside to outside, or here to here, we're at 2 inches. The thickness of this wall is 0.065. So we're going to need to refer and know those dimensions when we are building our product. So I did ask you already to attempt to create an Onshape account. I'm hoping that we were successful in doing that. I haven't heard from anybody that they were or they weren't, so I'm going to go with the conclusion that you were successful, and that if you weren't, please reach out so we can get you straightened up. So in your main Onshape screen, I'm going to create, and we're going to create a document. And I'm going to call this 2-inch square tube. And so you will see some similarities between Inventor and Fusion 360, depending on what you've used before, or maybe you have used Onshape. So we're going to right-click where it says front, and we're going to say new sketch. Now that we have this new sketch, we're going to right-click and say view normal to sketch plane. And this is where we're going to take our rectangle tool, and we're going to draw a rectangle, and I'm going to dimension it to 2. So the first one, it'll let me type in an override. The second one, I need to use this dimensioning tool. So this is now 2 by 2. I'm now going to use an offset tool. And I am going to offset 0.065, 0.065. I actually thought it would offset my entire rectangle at once. Whoops. So it went to the wrong side there. There is an undo button. I don't know. I'm not sure how to describe what I had to do to flip it. I had to click the arrow. Yes, click the arrow to flip it. All right, so now I need to go in, and I'm going to use my scissors, my trim tool, to trim these lines. So there's my basic sketch. So I'm now going to take this internal area, and I want to extrude it. So this is the area that I want to extrude. So I'm thinking that one of our pieces we will maybe cut, well, let's just make it easy and say we're cutting it an inch in height. And we go to isometric, So there we've created our piece of square tubing. So that way we can do some design work so we are not forgetting about that portion of our instruction, as well as we'll do some drawings then and learn a little bit more. Earlier in the week you had watched a review of like welding symbols, and we can take a look at those. So give this your best shot today. So I will ask you to do a screenshot, and you will screenshot your name and your project, and you will copy it, and I'll put slides in your assignments on Google Classroom so you can post your progress so I can see it. So thanks, have a great day, and reach out, enjoy your weekend, and reach out if you have questions. Take care.